Hello, and welcome to Sitter's Baked Goods. Today we're going to be making white bread. It's the most basic bread you can make, but it's a very good starting point to get into baking. So, let's get into it. To get started, have all your ingredients ready. I have my sugar water, which is molasses and 3/4 of the water, so this is 300 mils. Then get your salt water, the rest of the water and your salt, and your butter ready off to the side. This is an easy straight dough method where you just put everything in and mix it up, and then you're basically done. All you have to do is punch it down and all those extra steps. So let's just put the instant yeast in and our sugar water. Once these are in, we're going to mix it until it starts to form a dough. This way the yeast gets working and gets nice and strong. While it's getting nice and strong, we'll start adding in our butter and our salt water. Butter and salt will kill yeast, so we need to make sure that they are nice and alive before we put those in. Make sure you get all of your sugar in there. So just start it on low. And that's all you need to do. It's starting to mix together. Now you can add your salt water. This isn't such a big issue with one bread, but if you're making a lot of bread, putting all the salt in one area could kill the yeast in that one area, making a full loaf go bad and the rest be fine. So just make sure that when you do this with larger batches that you're even more careful. Once this gets to a little bit more mixed, I'm going to add the butter as it goes. Once you get to this stage where it's basically all fully mixed together, turn it up to medium speed and let it go for 8 minutes. After those 8 minutes, you'll get to this stage. It's going to be nice and soft because this is a wet dough, but just make sure you feel it and feel that it's bouncing back at you. We're just going to cover this and let this proof till double in size. It's a bit colder today in here, so it'll probably take me about 45 minutes to an hour, but we'll come back when it's doubled in size. Here we are, it's nice and double in size. I'm going to put a little bit of flour on top so my hands don't stick. We're just going to punch the air out. That flour also helps with scraping the bowl so that you can get the dough out nicely, just like so. Just use a little bit more, just to scrape all this extra stuff off. And pour it out so that you can knead it back into a ball so that you can turn it into a loaf. So we just need to form the butt on the bottom. Make sure that it's nice and tight. Just like so. Butts on the bottom. Flip it over. Tighten it up a bit more. Now it's in the perfect loaf shape. All that's left is to flatten it out, cover it again, and let it double in size. The other thing is, I'm going to be putting a pan of water underneath and start preheating the oven now. We've nicely doubled in size, so let's put it in the oven. Bread's just come out of the oven, looking good. It's a bit stuck. It's slightly exploded out both sides, just very slightly, which is perfectly fine, which is causing it to be stuck a bit. I've gone for the full 30 minutes to make sure that it's fully cooked, because I can't take it out and knock on it. If you knock on the top, it's always going to sound like wood, so you need to make sure you flip it over and knock. Sadly, I can't do that, but I made sure to go extra time to make sure it is fully cooked. I'll just let this cool down for a little bit, let it shrink just slightly so that I can take it out of the pan, and we'll come back then. Here's the bread now. It's looking really good. Nice crunch on that crust. Nice and fluffy. It's got a nice flavor. This isn't like a normal white bread. It has some really nice flavor to it. Really good. Obviously it's very simple. You can't really change too much. But the more you practice this, the better it gets. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I even have my own website. Thank you, and have a nice day.